Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video, we are going to talk about all new makeup, indie makeup releases. I would say majority of them are indie makeup, if not all, because I am excited about these and I don't know what all to buy because I want them all. So let's begin. The first thing that I have to talk about, and majority of them are eyeshadow palettes, because you know how much I feel for eyeshadow palettes because I just absolutely love them. And this is the time of the year I feel like where everything is just falling and it's exciting me all. The first eyeshadow palette, as you can see, let me just scoop here so that you can see the palette, is from Electrum Cosmetics, and it is the Midnight Moth palette. My friend Brittany Ray, she did a video on this. I was drooling looking at her swatches. It looked so pretty. The palette retails for, I think $60 is what she said. It's already launched on their website. It launched on May 31st and it contains 5 sparkly multichromes, 1 holochrome and 6 mattes in the palette. The color story screams Britney to me. I don't know how much I am going to use that, okay? Does it intrigue me? Absolutely, 100%, because the shimmers looks absolutely out of the world gorgeous. One, I feel like I lost the time frame of ordering it because I was not here. I was traveling that time. And now I would be waiting for a long time if I need to buy this. Am I excited? Yes, for sure. But I'll wait for another palette to come. The next palette that I have to talk about is from Sinful Echo's palette. Now this is a very new indie brand. I have not tested out anything from them as yet. This palette screamed my name, and this is called the Lotus Bloom palette. This has 8 pigmented mattes, 4 sparkly duochromes. They're laid out in such a beautiful way. You know how much I love my purples, and this palette is like mauves and purples, so it was screaming my name, and the shimmers look so dimensional, so shifty. This palette actually was revealed right after Fantasy Cosmetica palette, the Cradled in Ice palette, and I have actually reviewed that palette on my channel already, so you can take a look at that. Both of these palettes had like a very similar color story, at least similar for me. I would say it had a very similar color story, and this time I went for Fantasy Cosmetica. Not saying I will not review Sinful Echoes, but I'm pretty sure they will have so many more palettes coming in the future, so my eyes are definitely glued onto their brand too. But for now, I'm gonna skip this. The next palette, oh my gosh, is from Cleona Cosmetics. Now Cleona is coming out with 3 palettes. I feel like that is where they lost my interest. If a brand comes out, I don't know if you feel the same way. I feel if you're coming out with like 3 palettes, you have to make it like different enough. When I see these 3 palettes, it totally reminds me of the Sydney Grace and what was that collaborator's name? Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna kill me. Do you know what I'm talking about? They also collaborated with one influencer, and they came out with 3 palettes, and it felt like it had like overlapping color story. That's exactly how I feel with this. Is it beautiful? Yes. But I could not tell if I bought one that it is not the other. It's that similar, at least in my opinion. The palettes are called Paleo, Archeo and Oceano. Looks beautiful. I love Cleona's shimmer formula. I've never tried their matte formula, but with the palettes that are coming in my collection and the palettes that I'm interested in, I feel like this was an easy pass for me. Again, a very similar color story, blues, purples and pinks. We have a new palette called City of Stars eyeshadow palette by Floating Lantern Co. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing a brand a little different than what it is. It is such a beautiful 12 pan eyeshadow palette. It has 4 mattes, 4 duochromes and 4 multichromes, and it had launched on July 14th. This also looks absolutely gorgeous. I've never tried this brand before. I've never heard of this brand before. This is the first time I'm hearing it. I actually saw swatches by Deandra Nicole on her page, and that is when I was like, wow, that looks beautiful. I'll definitely keep my eyes on their brand, but for now, I feel like we can pass on this. The next brand is Clarity Cosmetics. Can you guys imagine? I've not tried one Clarity Cosmetics palette. I've not. And they, again, came out with 3 palettes. All of them look beautifully, but here I definitely can see a difference. They are coming out with Mermazing palette. They already had a Mermazing palette. I don't know if this is like a revamped version of Mermazing or not. They have a Mermazing palette, the Lost Kingdom palette, and Return to Sea palette. I would say the palette that is absolutely capturing my attention is one with purple and green. That looks beautiful. I feel like that's looking more appealing to me just because of the deeper shades. But again, I feel like that palette has a lot of deepening shades and no mid-tone mattes or lighter tone mattes. And then the other palettes have a lot of lighter tone mattes and less deepening mattes. So I feel like they can do better with like balancing out their palettes. But yes, am I interested in trying Clarity Cosmetics? 100%, but this might not be one for me. Although the shades look gorgeous. I actually saw Steph's video on the Mermazing palette and I was like, oh my god, her palette and her looks were so beautiful. Steph has a code with Clarity Cosmetics. If you want to save some money, I'll put her code in the description box below for you guys. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Steph or Steph 10. I don't know. But yeah, I'll pop it up. The next two palettes that are coming is from Cosmic Brushes. They are coming out with Neutrals palette and Cool Trils palette. Man oh man, is this coming to me. I'm gonna get this both in my collection. That's how I'm feeling right now. I feel like this is the time for me to try out Cosmic Brushes, and I was waiting to test out this brand, and I felt like the color story that they had come up in like prior had a lot of like greens in the palette, and I am not a fan of greens. When I'm wearing a green eyeshadow look, I know. But by the way, this is from the Ensley Rain Moon Dust. This is the shade called Cosmic Voyager, all across my eyelid. That's all that I have, and I popped a deeper green shade from the Groovy Garden palette from Ensley Rain. I have a code with Ensley Rain, Smithy Sony, to save you 10% off. Moving back into Cosmic Brushes. The Cool Trils palette, I feel like if you have to do cool tone palette, this is the way to do it. I am drooling over both of these palettes. Like both of them, they're releasing two palettes, but they're so distinct from each other that they both are capturing my attention. I really don't know what to get for. If I'm generally good with like, if a brand is coming out with several, I don't want them all. Whatever appeals to me, I'll buy that. I'm not like, I don't have that collector mentality that I need to grab them all. But man oh man, both of these palettes, they are so beautiful. They are an UK based indie brand there and pretty affordably priced palettes too. I feel like they're 28 pounds. Do your conversion. I feel like it's gonna be around like $30. I feel like they're gonna be around like $30 or so. But both of these palettes, amazing. Releasing on June 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So mark your calendars if you're interested. Definitely get them. I'm probably gonna get both of them. Yeah, save some money on the shipping cost because I'm here in US. I want to get both of them. Okay, the next brand, ABH. Okay, moving on to high-end brand now. Just for a change, just for a little bit. ABH is coming out with Blurring Serum Blushes. Lovely. They look absolutely amazing, but the tip on the brush looks like a syringe. Like, why is it so sharp and why is it a metal? I don't know. That has like, it should be saying something like hazardous for like children below 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, whatever, you know. But the shades, beautiful. I feel like they can definitely play around with more shades and dip into more like deeper tones and go away from the peachy pink round and get more like neutrals in the collection or like vibrant shades in the collection. I would definitely appreciate that, but looks very, very pretty. I cannot wait to see more reviews on this. Another, going back into indie brand, Cleona Cosmetics had come out with Bougie Boudoir Neutral Glam Palette. Man, that was screaming my name. That was screaming my name. The shimmers were shimmering. It was just doing everything that it wanted to do. My eyes are glued onto that palette. I don't know if Cleona Cosmetics does any sales on like Black Friday time or not. If they do, if you were aware of it, do let me know in the comment section below. My eyes are definitely, this is definitely going in my wish list, and this is like $50 or something. I've never tried Cleona Cosmetics before, but this looks right up my alley. It looks like it's not the formula, it looks like not the formula of Adept Cosmetics, but it feels like a similar color story like the Adept Minka palette, but in more like a refined shimmer form. I don't know, I'm excited. The next thing is coming from Rare Beauty. Rare Beauty has announced that they're coming out with new pressed powder formula. It's called True to Myself Tinted Pressed Finishing Powder. And oh, it's a finishing powder. It's releasing on July 18th. So we do have a little bit of time on this release. They're coming out with 14 shades. I do not know the price point on this, but it does look pretty. It comes with a compact with a mirror, 14 shades. Not bad for a pressed powder, I would say. I would be excited. I would be excited to try. I like a lot of Rare Beauty products. I don't know. I have a fly here, right? Can you guys see it? It's gonna bother me. Okay, last, certainly not the least. Is it the last thing? I think it is the last thing. Bella Beauty Bar. You know how much I love Bella Beauty Bar? I do have a code with Bella Beauty Bar. My code is Smithy Sony to save you 10% off. They're coming out with 3 releases so far that they have sneak peeked. I don't know the inside of the palette, but definitely there's a pressed pigment eyeshadow palette. They have that's a matte palette. Then they have a smaller eyeshadow palette with all metals. So I'm assuming that this is going to be all shimmer palette, and they also are coming out with a baked blush palette. I don't know if it is a baked, maybe it's a baked blush formula. I don't know. Face and cheek blushes. I'm excited about all of them. I want them to just open it so that I can see it. I really, really love it. I think that is it. This is the whole collection because they've mentioned 3 in a pod. I don't know. Maybe there's more coming, but I'm excited about all of them. I really cannot wait to see what is inside. I'm pretty sure you will see it by the time this is released. But that's all for today. You guys have to let me know out of this, what are you most excited about? Definitely on my list, on my number 1 is the Cosmic brushes, the 2 eyeshadow palettes that we were talking about, the Neutrals and the Cool Trills palette. That will definitely enter my collection. I hope they don't sell out and I can snag it as soon as possible. But rest everything going on my wish list because there are a lot of things that are coming and we're just sitting at the end of June. I cannot wait. And this is the time when, you know, brands generally just sprinkle things and then they go all out in the holiday season. We're just halfway there and we already are like out there. So I'm really excited. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did like this video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.